Wildfires have been burning for the past 3 weeks in Toledo and Cayo districts. These fires pose a threat to the livelihood of residents in these areas. And now another concern has arisen emanating from the wildfires. That is air pollution. It is a concern raised by Orlando Habet, the Minister of Sustainable Development, during a media tour of Mountain Pine Ridge last week.
You see what happened in San Ignacio and Santa Elena during the past week. The air quality is really bad. You can't come out and run or jog or exercise, do your bicycling because it is terrible.
These social media images and videos capture some of what residents in the Cayo district have been experiencing. The blanket of haze in the sky, stretching for miles, is smoke from wildfire. In Toledo district, it is no different. Residents are left with no choice but to inhale this contaminated air.
Yes, I think this is the worst I've seen it. And a couple of days ago here in the village, the smoke was really intense to the point that I was a little worried about the kids, the elders in our community, because this is not normal.
I believe yes, it is the worst fire that I'm seeing around this time because it get really smoky here, and just recently that side is being burning just like about 2 3 days ago, and it was there day and night, and all the smoke are coming this side, and sometimes I have to move from here and go to my parents' house and just spend the night sometimes, just try to make the kids safe and after the smoke, the heavy smoking.
On Monday, the Ministry of Health and Wellness and the Department of Environment warned the public that the substantial increase in air pollution due to smoke can lead to health risks for the vulnerable population. This index describes air quality and its associated health effects. The higher the number, the more air pollution is being inhaled. Anything beyond a numeric value of 100 is unhealthy, all the way up to 300 where the air pollution becomes hazardous. On Sunday, for example, the air quality in San Jose Socots was at 175. That is where internist and bioethicist Dr. Marvin Manzanero resides.
And when you look at air quality monitors, the particular situation that they look for is PM, is particulate matter. That's a measuring issue that we do is the 2.5 micrometers is what will get lodged all the way deep down into your lungs. Those are particles that we will never see, right? So who is at risk then? Well, just like most other diseases, it's the more vulnerable. So you're going to have the elderly population, young children, people who have underlying respiratory conditions, asthmatics, people who have chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, people who have hypertension and diabetes. There's been identified links to those not doing so well. People who have cancers, people who are on steroids and other types of immunosuppressants. And one thing that I think we want to highlight is because the World Health Federation recently released its global report, and air pollutants have been shown to be triggers of the building up of plaque in your arteries, right? So that microparticles and even nanoplastics are being found in those atheromas that are building up in your circulatory walls.
One of the measures recommended by healthcare providers to limit the risks associated with inhaling air pollution is the use of protective respiratory masks. Additionally, individuals living in the affected areas are being advised to limit outdoor exposure. This also includes children attending school.
If you have to be outside, you would have to wear protective respiratory mask, or you try to limit the amount of time you're going to be outside. Even in terms of exercise, I had mentioned it to a couple of colleagues, you really can't be doing strenuous physical activity when you have so much air pollutants in the air. And even on a personal note, for example, 2 weeks ago, I tried running and I started wheezing after about 1.5 miles. So the exercise has to be cut short because you are just inhaling too many pollutants. For example, I have two teens, and one of the ones that's a little bit more active have to limit the outside exposure. He is going to school. They don't do physical activity in school these days, but as soon as they come home, then they would just be inside an indoor environment.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.